Prepare yourself for a journey into forbidden knowledge and chilling revelations with the 2,000-year-old Book of Enoch. This controversial text has sparked debate for centuries, documenting tales of fallen angels, violent giants, a unique cosmology, and world-changing revelations. Although it describes events from before the birth of Jesus, it is not included in today's Bible, and some scholars do not consider it divinely inspired. Nevertheless, this book, filled with terrifying knowledge, was discovered in Abyssinia, Ethiopia, in 1773 and has been included in the scriptures of the Ethiopian Christian sect. It is said to contain ominous predictions about the human race that will send shivers down your spine. What other secrets might these pages hold? Join us as we delve into this ancient text, revealing lost chapters with chilling insights about humanity. The Book of Enoch, also known as the Ethiopic Book of Enoch, is a pseudepigraphical work of the Old Testament, detailing events written long before Jesus was born. The original manuscript disappeared at the end of the 4th century, but was rediscovered in Ethiopia in 1773. The Christian sect in Abyssinia, Ethiopia, has since included it in their scriptures. The survival of this book was also aided by heretical Christian groups like the Manichaeans, who blended Iranian, Greek, Chaldean and Egyptian elements into their beliefs. Several scholars have dismissed the Book of Enoch, claiming it contains revelations not divinely inspired by God. This ancient text was excluded from the Bible for unveiling profound truths about the world's creation. It records tales of fallen angels, violent giants, unique cosmological facts and mystical revelations, many of which have yet to be confirmed by Bible scholars. The story of Enoch is believed to reflect many features of Babylonian mythology, and the book itself is considered a compilation of mostly apocalyptic works. Who is or was Enoch? Enoch is a biblical figure and a patriarch who lived before the time of Noah's Ark and the Great Flood. He was the great-great-great-grandson of Adam, the father of Jared, and the grandfather of Methuselah, the longest living person in the Bible. According to Genesis 5:21-24, Enoch walked with God and then was no more because God took him. Bible scholars interpret this to mean that Enoch entered heaven alive. He was around 365 years old when God took him, as noted in Genesis 5:22-24. In the Bible, only he and Elijah were taken by God without experiencing death. Enoch lived a life of faith and righteousness, obeying God's word completely. Because of his exemplary life, God spared him the pain of death. Enoch is an important figure in many Jewish and Christian traditions. He is credited as the author of the Book of Enoch and is considered the scribe of judgment. He is mentioned in the Old Testament in Genesis and in the New Testament in the Gospel of Luke 3:37, Apostle Paul's Epistle to the Hebrews 11:5, and Jude 1:14. Among the Catholic Church, the Eastern Orthodox and the Oriental Orthodox, he is revered as a saint, a model for Christians to emulate. Some Muslims compare Enoch to the prophet Idris in the Quran. Enoch's ministry was a precursor to Noah's mission as a preacher of righteousness and builder of the ark. The Dead Sea Scrolls, attributed to Enoch, were rediscovered in the Judean cave in 1946 to 1947 by Bedouin boys tending their sheep. One of the boys threw a rock into a cliff opening and heard something break. Curious, he and his friends entered the cave and found several large clay jars, 7 of which contained leather and papyrus scrolls. The cave is near the ancient settlement of Qumran, on the northwest coast of the Dead Sea, now known as the West Bank. Antiquities merchants and scholars who repurchased the scrolls found them to be over 2,000 years old. Many other scroll fragments were discovered in nearby caves, totaling 800 to 900 texts. The Book of Enoch is divided into 5 sections: the Book of Watchers, the Book of Parables, the Astronomical Book, the Dream Visions, and the Epistles of Enoch, with a total of 100 chapters. It contains important stories, including one about angels, a special tree, Jerusalem, and the universe. The most intriguing part is about fallen angels who had intimate relationships with human women, resulting in giant offspring called Nephilim. These angels also taught humans advanced knowledge, which led to a great flood and destruction. Nephilim means fallen ones, and they are often seen as giants. This concept comes from the first Book of Enoch, an ancient Jewish text. However, there is debate about their nature. Some believe their size is due to their supernatural origins, while others argue that it's not plausible for angels or demons to have children with humans. Another theory suggests that the Nephilim were ordinary people who strayed from righteousness. Some interpret the sons of God as descendants of Seth, a virtuous figure from Adam's lineage, and believe the Nephilim were his descendants who turned away from God. Thus, the Book of Enoch presents fascinating perspectives on angels, giants, and humans. The Book of Enoch contains mysterious and seemingly fantastical elements that have led to its exclusion from the Bible. These unconfirmed myths and secrets related to divinity have caused ancient Bible scholars to deem the Book of Enoch unsuitable for Christians and humanity at large. Is its knowledge true or false? Are its teachings sacred or not meant for human understanding? What hidden truths does it reveal that challenge our understanding of divinity? The apocryphal Book of Enoch is filled with mysteries, including the origin of demons and Nephilim, the enigmatic events of Genesis 6:1-5, the reasons behind the great flood in Genesis, the laws governing the sun, moon, stars and wind, the rebellion of angels against God, why some angels fell from heaven, the story of the archangel Uriel, the secrets of creation, the 1,000-year reign of the Messiah, and many other mystical revelations. The Book of Enoch records the story of 200 angelic watchers who descended to earth and turned wicked. This book names some of these angels and their leaders, including Shemihazah, Asael, Ramel, Artikoph, Matarel, Ananel, and Nephilim, the angel who fathered the angel-human hybrids. These angels are known as the bad watchers because, after falling from heaven, they committed acts of wickedness on earth. They corrupted both men and women, engaging in intimate relationships with them and spreading forbidden knowledge and practices. Other angelic watchers also came to earth and married human women, forming unnatural unions. They taught humans various forbidden arts, such as the art of war and weapon-making, astrology, the study of clouds, and the courses of the moon. Yekon, one of the bad watchers, tempted others into having sexual relations with humans. His fellow henchmen, Asbeel, Gadriel, Penemu, and Kazdaya, were also identified as individual Satans and watchers of iniquity. Enoch is believed to have received revelations about the story of creation directly from God. According to the Book of Enoch, before creation, the foundation for all things was laid. God created everything out of nothing and deep darkness. He created a throne for himself, made the heavens and the earth, and solidified the stone above the waters. God then created armies of intangible beings from fire, and finally reptiles, birds, fish, animals, vegetation, and humans. These details can be found in chapters 28-29, where God instructs Enoch about the secrets of creation. The Lord also speaks to Enoch in chapters 24, 26, and 41. 1:3. These revelations in the Book of Enoch about the secret of creation have yet to be confirmed by Bible scholars and were not accepted as accurate by many early church fathers. The final section of the Book of Enoch, comprising chapters 91-108, is known as the Epistle of Enoch. Unlike the epistles in the New Testament, which are letters by Paul the Apostle, the epistles in the Book of Enoch are not regarded as letters. Instead, they represent Enoch's last words to his son, Methuselah. The main part of the Epistle of Enoch details his vision of being taken up by God and his counsel to his children and family about the importance of living in uprightness, righteousness, and faith. He also foretells the great flood that would occur in the days of Noah, and speaks about the judgment of the wicked in the flood and the final judgment, including the resurrection of the dead, as mentioned in chapters 91, 13, 14. The Epistle of Enoch includes 6 oracles against sinners, the testimony of creation against them, and the assurance of their fate after death. The epistle is composed of two layers: a proto-epistle, which has a theology similar to the deterministic doctrine of the Qumran group, and a slightly later section, chapters 94:4 and 104:6, that emphasizes personal responsibility. This later part often describes sinners as the wealthy and the just as the oppressed, a theme also found in the Book of Parables. The birth of Noah is mentioned in Qumran fragments, separated from the previous text by a blank line, suggesting it is an appendix. It describes the deluge and Noah, who is born with the appearance of an angel. The final appendix of the Book of Enoch was not found in Qumran and is considered the work of the final editor, highlighting the generation of light in contrast to sinners destined for darkness. Many early church fathers, such as Clement of Alexandria, Tertullian, Irenaeus, and Athenagoras, writing around 200 AD, asserted that the Book of Enoch was excluded from the formal canons because it contained prophecies about Jesus that could not be confirmed. The book was not included in the Tanakh, the Septuagint, or the Deuterocanon. The primary reason for the Jewish rejection of the Book of Enoch was its inconsistent teachings with the Torah, the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, which represent the foundational laws and teachings of Judaism. The Torah is considered the most authoritative and sacred text in Judaism, and any writings that contradicted its teachings were deemed unworthy of inclusion. Additionally, the Book of Enoch presents a variety of themes and narratives that diverge significantly from those found in the Torah. For instance, it offers detailed descriptions of fallen angels, elaborate visions of heaven and hell, and a complex eschatology, none of which align neatly with the Torah's more straightforward legal and historical focus. The presence of these elements likely contributed to its exclusion from the Jewish canon. Despite its rejection by Jewish authorities, the Book of Enoch was widely known and respected among early Christians. Many early Christian writers and theologians referenced and quoted the book, indicating its influence and popularity. However, as the Christian canon began to take shape, the church authorities faced the challenge of determining which texts should be included as authoritative scripture. Several factors contributed to the eventual exclusion of the Book of Enoch from the Christian biblical canon. One significant factor was its irregular teachings and doctrines, which differed from the emerging Orthodox Christian theology. The book's detailed accounts of angelology and demonology, along with its apocalyptic visions, did not fit neatly with the theological frameworks being developed by early church leaders. Furthermore, as the early church sought to establish a coherent and unified set of scriptures, texts that were seen as speculative or controversial were often set aside. The Book of Enoch, with its unique and sometimes contentious content, fell into this category. Church authorities prioritized texts that had clear apostolic authorship or were widely accepted and used in liturgical contexts. Ultimately, the combination of its theological irregularities and the lack of widespread acceptance among church authorities led to the Book of Enoch's exclusion from the biblical canon. As a result, the book gradually faded from prominence and was virtually forgotten for many centuries. It was not until the modern era, with the discovery of ancient manuscripts and renewed scholarly interest, that the Book of Enoch began to receive attention once again. In conclusion, the Book of Enoch's journey from early reverence to eventual obscurity highlights the complex processes of canon formation and the diverse theological currents within early Judaism and Christianity. Its exclusion from the canon was driven by its inconsistency with the Torah, its speculative doctrines, and the early church's efforts to define a unified set of authoritative scriptures. Let us know your thoughts on this topic in the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos.